Never before in all our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
The needs of working families and the middle class, not just the billionaire class. We know what's going on. We are paying attention.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Anything But the Scorpions with John and Markus, the new show that is attempting to grab a German audience, except for the Scorpions fans. And if you're Klaus Meine and you're watching, I apologize deeply. It wasn't my idea. Thank you, Steve Collins. Thought that was funny. Good morning, good morning. Markus, does that title do you justice? Does that work for you, sir?
Good morning, John, and good morning, America. Yes, I like the title, and we should stick to this. And yeah, we will see. We will see if we can improve our ratings. And Klaus Meine, yeah, hi. I never liked you. And okay.
There, moving on.
What?
No, what? Go ahead.
Special greetings today go to Alexandria OcasioCortez.
Oh, okay. Great. Yes. Hello there. Special greetings.
Yes.
Hoping to have you on We the Peeps.
Yes.
We'll talk about that. Soul Rebel, yes. No Scorpions today. There will be no Scorpions today. As a matter of fact, the end piece was picked by Markus, and it's about cannabis. So, hey.
Yes.
Right?
It's a ganja song.
Ganja song. So I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Never anything wrong with that. Good morning, Melissa and Unga Bunga and Jim and John and Robert and Steve and Kat and Louise. Who else is in here? Density. Denise, how you doing? Metalhead, and Janine, and Barbara, and William, and Robert, and wow, there's so many people in here. Good morning, good morning. If I missed you, let me know. I saw you earlier there, Katie. Dennis, good to see you. Ah, so many people. So much going on. I am, oh wow. And I don't have one camera. I've lost a camera. Good thing I don't need that camera today. I only need the Markus camera. There's a lot going on right now. It's all, from my perspective, great. Probably if you're paying attention to MSM and Twitter's, it's not. It looks really bad. And I get that. But I'm seeing, I just want to, this has nothing to do with my card or anything. Like the card is the cover there, that graph is Kansas, and proof that after 40 years that we ran an experiment called Trickle Down, and it sucks. But anyway, I'm seeing the revolution organize. It's happening. You're not seeing it probably, but I'm seeing it, and the major groups are reforming under different names with different umbrellas, and the resources are being aligned, and it's happening. It's happening. It's amazing, and ground is being gained, and we are winning, and things are happening fast, and it's good. So whenever you're down about something going on, just come back to this little clip video and go, well, John says this. I think he's insane, but he says that. And just come back to this, because it's true. I'll tell you more about that later, but it's true. Hey, P&P Railroad. Jilly Love, morning. How you doing? Lynn, good to see you. All right. What am I talking about? So the card, Trickle Down, Kansas, that graph is the whole reason I just did the card today. That, and I really had a hard time figuring what I wanted to put on the card. I should have put Scorpions on the card, really. That would have been funny. But is anything but the Scorpions card. The graph underneath is what's important. What you're looking at is the difference in growth, economic growth. The United States being the green line, 1.6%, not like that's great or anything. But Kansas, 0.2%. Because since 2006, they've had bullshit trickle-down tax breaks for the rich, far beyond anything we've got going on in our government right now. And that's what it does. And the reason that's important for me anyway is because I am a Gen Xer and I grew up in the Reagan era where we were hearing about trickle down or whatever the fuck he called it back then. I think it was been called trickle down. But, Reaganomics was what it was called back then. Reaganomics. Same concept, really. Just a different, they just relabeled it, they rebranded it, but we all know it as trickle down economics. And that's this theory that if you give the rich even more money, somehow that's going to spur innovation and they're going to want to expand and do more, which will generate more jobs, which will put more people at work, which will put more money into the economy, which will build and just grow. And that's bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. But Americans bought it in the 80s because they were sleeping. They'd been sleeping for a long time, but they were really sleeping in the 80s. My parents sleeping in the 80s. Right? Everybody who really didn't think about what was going on and get active, sleeping. Right? I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying I was sleeping. 1985, right? One of my favorite years. Talked about that last night. I was a kid, so you can't really blame me at that point. But the point being, we now have definitive proof. Because all these years they kept saying, you just got to let it work. And then they would say, well, you put a Democrat in office, and that's why it didn't work. You didn't give trickle-down an opportunity to really bear its fruit. And we'd say, well, how long is that supposed to take? Decades, millennia, we don't know, but you didn't give it, you didn't let it keep going. It's actually been going and going and going, right? And in Kansas, it was going specifically for quite some time. The GOP legislators in Kansas said F you to the Republican-controlled lapdog Brownback governor, right? And so that ends that in Kansas. Yay for Kansas. Kansas doing something progressive through its GOP-controlled legislature. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, that was the card. That's all that was. Really. Sounds like a great song title, Sleeping in the 80s. It does. I like that. The great Social Security heist of 83. Yes, when we borrowed from Social Security. Yeah. Should be called, Tinkle Down. It should be called Tinkle Down. Oh, yeah, the memes are just, they're all out there. Anyway, we got proof. Moving on, because I don't have a lot of time. It's just too much shit going on. We have the People's Summit coming up this weekend. Last night we had an incredible interview with Misty K. Snow, who's running for Utah's 2nd District. And if you haven't seen it, please go watch. Wow. There's a clip in there of an interview, or not interview, of a debate she had with Mike Lee, idiot Senate guy in 2016. He's a climate change denier. Like, that's just weather. And Misty K comes in and is like, I didn't ask her. I was like, didn't you want to just smack him across the face? Anyway, I hope she wins. She's running for Utah's 2nd District. Fantastic interview. She was on point, on fire, actually knew what the hell she was talking about. We were talking before the show started. They spent days, weeks studying and prepping for the debate. And she mopped the floor with that guy. It's like, I know what I'm talking about. He was just a gas bag with a couple of typical Republican talking points. You didn't get a chance. Dennis stayed up. He's a true German patriot, Markus. Just want you to, you were sleeping, dreaming about the Scorpions. Dennis was up, watching. Okay, just saying. I don't know why Dennis was up. Yeah, he's crazy.
I think if one German observes all this, then it's all right. Should be enough.
I understand. One represents all. I get it.
Yeah.
You had your observer. Who are you talking about, John? What do you mean? Who were we just talking about? I'm talking about Misty K. Snow, We the People. Last night. You should go watch it. It was amazing. Oh, I'm sorry that you got sick, Kat. Sorry to hear that. Yes, Misty does need our support. Dennis and everybody, you guys had such nice, great comments to say. Thank you for all the really nice, long comments on that. That helps. Every time you leave a comment, that adds to the SEO value of that event. That gets indexed by Google, right? So that's important. The content. Understand this. The reason why the reason why engagement broadcasting was created is because engagement on the semantic web, This is Business John talking. Engagement on the semantic web is the most powerful thing you can do to raise your content on Google search for the context. And that's the thing, is that the Google AI now gets context. It will do speech to text, and it understands what the hell we're talking about. Not just keyword phrases. It actually understands the dynamic conversation that you guys have, the comments that are left on a video. It reads these. It understands. It goes, oh, they're talking about politics, talking about this, blah, blah, blah. It does sentiment analysis. All of that is part of what raises the video up in search, which brings it before more eyeballs, which is what we're trying to do in the first place. That's why having you here engaged with us is so important, whether you do it live or 2 weeks later when you find the video. So thank you for coming by always and commenting and being here. That's the most important part. All right, moving on. Love you all. Yes. People Summit this weekend is going to be huge. And Ashley Terry, our volunteer graphic artist extraordinaire video man in the Corvallis area, right down here. He's doing so much for us. I just got him to help. He's going to help me with the Lynn County thing. That's a whole other thing I talk about. But anyway, we got these beautiful cards. I'll be putting up events. We're doing a broadcast starting Friday night, and I don't have all the cards in front of me. Friday night, Jim Hightower opens the deal, so that's going to be awesome. Saturday morning, there's a big power panel that has like Amy Goodman and Naomi Klein and a whole bunch of people. That's going to start early in the morning. Then Saturday evening is Bernie Sanders. That's going to be another. So I'm going to break up these events. In between all this stuff, there's breakout sessions that are be going. There's going to be so much quality live video of everything going on in the People's Summit. It's going to be insane. And I was going to wait for later, but you guys know who the digital left is? You've seen them, the digital left. They're in Facebook, and they've been broadcasting stuff, really putting out high quality live streams. Like, where'd they get that? I'm the one going, where'd they get that? Like, how'd they get that stream there? It looks like they actually have a crew there. And it's actually a group of people that I knew some of them, but a group of people from the Bernie Sanders campaign and from other aspects of the revolution with some serious resources and some serious skills. And I was invited to connect with them. So now we're collaborating right now. We're talking about how we're going to stream the People's Summit together. They're going to pick up our stream and do things, and they're going to push it on Facebook because I can only push it to YouTube, right? Facebook's assholes about that. They only let you stream to their point. You can't multi-point. So if we work together as separate entities, we can. Right? This is what's badass. And so I'm connected with them through Slack, because Slack is how the revolution communicates in text in real time. So yeah, that's any. The People's Summit is going to be cool, and we've got a lot of people. I'm also connected with our revolution. There's going to be people that are going to be down there. Scott Galindez is going to be collecting interviews. Please share these events when I get them up. Join us for the conversations. It's going to be amazing, and we're going to have a fun time with it. Starting Friday night, Saturday all day, Sunday until I drop dead. That's what it's going to be. Actually, the Sunday after Nina Turner, because that's really what's going to be. She's going to do the opening thing, and they'll have a few other things, and they'll be done. Saturday's really the big-ass day. Jim Hightower Friday night opens it, and he's always awesome. So join us for that, guys. Be fun. Going to be fun. And yeah, thank you to Scott, who's going there. And thank you to Reader-Supported News, who is affording Scott there. If you guys can support Reader-Supported News, that link's always in the description. They're always struggling to pay Scott. So if we want to keep Scott, we need to help Reader-Supported News. All right? Thank you. Thank you, Jupiter Judy. I think they're awesome, and I think it's great. Melissa, I sent you a Slack invite. I just didn't respond to the email. Those of you who send me an email to say, put me in Slack, I just send an invite out. I'll check to make sure it went, Melissa, but I'm pretty sure I did. I hate typing, and it hurts my hand a lot. So I will generally just do the shortest route and then hope you figure it out. So, yeah, there we go. Yeah, we'll get into that another time. So Saturday, 24 hours. Marcus, are you in? It's not 24. It's more like 8, really.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's not that much. Yes, Syracuse Scott. That's exactly. He's proud of that alma mater. Where are we at here? So after the People's Summit, We the People, David Hildebrand, That's next week. That's the 14th. He's the guy running against fossil establishment tool Dianne Feinstein. Gonna be enjoying having him on. See what it's gonna take to get her out of there, right? Like California, Jurassic Park of establishment Democrats. All right, the card, so that I can stay on track here. We're going to talk just for one brief moment about Comey Day, which is really what's going on right now. Oh, no, wait. We're going to look at this first. Phil Britton, I just want to say thank you for your very kind email. And to all of you, the fact that you are here and that you engage and you share means way more to me than any donations or anything else. I appreciate everybody that's capable of donating money, but without you in general, I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be doing this. So thank you, Phil. Thank you, Pirate Radio Boulder 95.5 for restreaming. And that's what this is Boulder Free Radio 95.5 FM. You know, that's just another part of independent media, right? Outside of the MSM bubble, no matter how big, how small. So thank you for your words, Phil. Appreciate that. Marcus?
Yeah, thank you very much, guys, at the Boulder Pirate Radio. Awesome, and thank you very much.
Yeah. I don't know if David's in chat today. I know he visited the other day. He caught me on a heavy F-bomb day. I was rather surprised. That never happens. I'm going to start being less F-bomby because I had to get all serial and talk to, be government. And I said I wasn't going to change who I am, and that's true. But it's better that I focus my words on training and not on dropping F-bombs. That's how we say it.
You're selling out, John.
I'm selling out. Tim Black will never talk to me again. I'm selling out. You got it. I'm getting more serious for the Rev.
Damn.
Terrible.
Our F-bomb stock ratings are dropping. I can see it on my other monitor.
I know.
Ah,
F-bomb stocks. Do you guys want to hear the opening statement by Comey or just the first couple? I really like it because of what he says about Trump. Let's just listen to this. It's important.
So it confused me when I saw on television the president saying that he actually fired me because of the Russia investigation, and learned again from the media that he was telling privately other parties that my firing had relieved great pressure on the Russia investigation. I was also confused by the initial explanation that was offered publicly that I was fired because of the decisions I had made during the election year. That didn't make sense to me for a whole bunch of reasons, including the time and all the water that had gone under the bridge since those hard decisions had had to be made. That didn't make any sense to me. And although the law required no reason at all to fire an FBI director, the administration then chose to defame me and, more importantly, the FBI by saying that the organization was in disarray, that it was poorly led, that the workforce had lost confidence in its leader. Those were lies, plain and simple. And I am so sorry that the FBI workforce had to hear them, and I'm so sorry that the American people were told them. I worked every day at the FBI to help make that great organization better. And I say help because I did nothing alone at the FBI. There are no indispensable people at the FBI. The organization's great strength is that its values and abilities run deep and wide. The FBI will be fine without me. The FBI's mission will be relentlessly pursued by its people, and that mission is to protect the American people and uphold the Constitution of the United States. I will deeply miss being part of that mission, but this organization and its mission will go on long beyond me and long beyond any particular administration. I have a message before I close for my former colleagues of the FBI, but first I want the American people to know this truth. The FBI is honest, the FBI is strong, and the FBI is and always will be independent.
I really, really wish I could believe that.
Yeah.
I want to so bad, I want to so bad. I didn't get the blue thing. In 1985, I believed that. I did.
Yeah. Maybe.
I believe he's sincere in thinking that. I don't trust an ounce of government, other than the people I know around me. I mean, that's the way it rebuilds, though. That's what has to happen here. I'm looking at comments, you guys, a lot of people saying, yeah, John Warren, I actually believe him saying, but I don't know who said earlier, this is to me is all a distraction from where we really need to focus. Still.
Yes, but it is a distraction somehow, of course. But you got to see. We don't know what really the truth is, but we got to see how it comes over to the people who are watching this on the TV.
That's
true. He presented himself perfectly as the fine gentleman, and his words are devastating for Trump.
They are. His words are devastating for Trump. Whether it'll do anything or not is the question. That's
That's what I wanted to add. Yeah.
No, where's
Exactly.
Scott? Where's Scott G? Scott, if you're watching or if you hear this, does it matter?
Yes.
Probably
please
not.
tell us. Yes, I doubt it.
It rarely does. His sincerity is genuine, says Poodle. See, a lot of you found him coming across as serious, and then others are like bullshit coming from bullshitters, says Steve Collins. See, that's the problem. Is there's such a. Let me ask you all this. When do you think we'll get to a place where we trust anybody? Right?
Good question.
So I trust Bernie. Is there anybody else? I was on the verge of trusting Elizabeth Warren a long time ago, and then that all fell to shit. Who else? I'll tell you what, where I am right now, who do I trust that I know in government? I trust Brad Avakian at this point simply because I had a conversation with him face to face, and he too came across to me as sincere and honest. Now, for all
Nina
I know,
Turner?
What? Say that. What, Marcus?
Nina Turner for me.
Okay, Nina Turner. There you go. There's another one, right?
Yeah.
So my question. But here's where I'm going. At some point, we're gonna have to not just trust, but we're gonna have to allow people to show us by their actions that we can, right? So some people we're gonna have to just find out, right? We don't know yet. That's the thing. Don't preclude anybody simply because we don't have any reason not to, right? That's where I'm going. And that, a lot of people are called, that's the purity test or whatever. No, it's just we need actions. Yeah, action. That's what I'm looking for. Looking for action.
The actions are, if you want, so the purity test, in my opinion.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. Polls don't show who winning. What are we talking about, guys? Yeah, somebody says Tulsi Gabbard, and then I saw somebody saying that's anyway. Yeah. Moving on. I want to cover a bunch of other things. We're moving on. Surprise. This is always good for us because the more we get people hating him and disliking him, the more we can unify around the issues that matter. Right? So that's always good. What Comey said today probably isn't going to help him either. I don't know that it'll matter. They're not going to remove him from office, and impeachment is not going to happen. And we don't really need those two things to happen. He can just sit there and keep making things worse because state level, we're accomplishing so much more. And we need to focus on changing out our government. And we'll get more to that because what's going on here is I'm seeing that. But let me make sure I got the card, guys. Make sure I got the card. I take time every day to make this stupid card. I never show it to you. I don't show it to you very often. All right. Approval ratings, Comey Day. Trumpy leaks. Everybody hear about this?
Yes.
I should have talked about it yesterday. Yeah?
It is the Michael Moore thingy, right?
Yep. He created this to help you share information, leak information to Trump without getting caught. I don't know how that works or the legalities or anything out around it, but thank you, Michael Moore, for creating the site. The links are in the description, everybody. So if you work for the White House and you watch this program, click on the link, and you haven't heard of Trumpy Leaks, go ahead and, there you go. Help us out. The more leaks, the better. What this is helping us do, really, is force a transparent government. And that's cool. Like, they talked a lot about transparency, talked. And then Trump came in and was like, I don't know how to be any other way. I'll lie over here, but you're going to find out because I'm not a good liar. Obama was a good liar. Clinton, the whole Clinton family, great liars, right? I mean, Trump just can't lie. He's just a shitty turn and burn salesperson. He knows like 2 tactics. I wouldn't, when I was working in sales, I wouldn't have hired him. Like, you suck. What are your skill sets? Jesus. So, anyway.
I wouldn't call them only liars. I would call them liars and actors. And Trump plays only one role. It's Donald Trump.
Yeah, the schoolyard bully.
Yeah.
Didn't take long for Al Franken to sell it. That's another point. We have to wait and see what these people are going to do. We could spend a whole bunch of time and put somebody in office that we think is progressive or going to do the right thing, but if we don't stay vigilant on that person, right? Which means 2 things. Let me rephrase that. If we don't continue to support that person, right? Support them in their effort to change legislation. Support them in their effort to battle non-progressive stuff wherever we are. If we elect them and then we abandon them, right? Okay, I hired you. I am the boss. I am your manager. I did hire you, though, to be the representative, and I am expecting you to work autonomously for the most part. However, if I don't spend time as a manager coming by, checking out the work you're doing, looking back, making sure things are going the right way, making sure that we're making progress with this company that we run called Civilization and that we're growing in the way we told you to grow, making sure that occasionally I actually contact you. Hey, I just want to let you know you're doing a good job. Or I want to let you know I heard your speech the other day on the floor. I thought it was great, but you really need to focus on this shit. If we don't do that as managers, then we leave our representatives, our newly hired employees that we worked so fucking hard to get in there, because we're going to work so hard to get these good, progressive people we hope are honest employees elected into spots in our government, wherever they are, to replace these other people that aren't doing the job. But if we abandon them once we bring them in there, then we leave them completely susceptible to the money wheel. And what would you do? You get into office, you had all these people elect you, you know you got to do a job, now you've got the wolves pounding at you all the time, you're trying to find resources, you're trying to fight shit, you don't have any money, because money's how the world goes in there. You don't get anything accomplished, you come up for re-election, nobody was behind you after you got elected, and now you're like, fuck, if I want to stay in office, I got to find some money. If I want to keep fighting the fight, where's the money? In the middle of this, corporations are coming at you all the time. All you have to do is make sure you vote no on that, and there's $10,000 going to hit your bank account tomorrow. You're going to need that for re-election. I mean, if we don't support our people, other people will. And they're going to do it with money. So, when we elect these folks, whoever they are, just remember, we can't leave them there. You don't abandon an employee. You make sure they're doing their job. Do you guys check up? Do you check up on your people?
Both.
I mean, the Germany as a whole does that in general, but let me ask you this way: is there more open political discussion in Germany?
This is quite difficult comparable for me, because the discussions I'm mostly in is of course more left oriented, and I cannot compare it with the rest of America. I think it differs between the West Coast, East Coast, and the middle of America, and I think it's a question where are you moving, and compared to Germany, it depends on the political situation. It is discussed sometimes more, sometimes less, and but it is nothing, no topic which is needed. We talk about it.
Nice. But I guess, like in America, there's a common phrase, you never discuss politics or religion. And then sometimes it's you never discuss politics or religion with family, right? Or among friends, or in general. And those were, we grew up saying that. Don't talk about religion. Don't talk about politics. Don't discuss that stuff. Don't even think that you and your neighbor might want to have a discussion and inform each other on anything.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree on this. What religion concerns, because religion is a question of the belief system, And about politics is a different type, because if you want, so different is man-made and not created by gods. So it is a more topic or a more matter which offers something realistic to speak.
You just said religion is created by gods, but religion is a man-made construct too.
I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There is a famous line. I always forget who did it, and it says, if the gods founded religion, then the devils came and organized it. And yes, I absolutely agree with you.
Anyway, by the way, Bev, I know you've been posting this, and I just want to tell you, I know Margaret Klein Solomon, the climate mobilization. As a matter of fact, I was the first person to bring them on camera. We did Frack Off Fridays with Margaret and Ezra Silk, who is her partner, and then they moved on to Great Things and did an interview with TYT and showed up at Philly. And so, yeah, I'm in contact with them, and I thank you if you want to reach out. I could. That's cool. She's actually in our Slack. So we could, if she wants to come back on, I want to start up Frack Off Fridays. That would be great. If you want to reach out and see, that's fine. But yeah, I know them. They're great. They're a great team. They're great folks. So yeah, cool. I'm an old guy. I've been doing this broadcast revolution thing for a couple whole years. See all that stacked experience. I think about that. I think about the relativeness, and I go, Jesus, it feels like forever. Been doing this day in, day out, broadcasting this shit. And then every time I think about that, I picture Bernie Sanders with a double face palms. like he had, there's like one sentence thing where he's listening to somebody, he's just like, and I think that's him for the last 30 fucking years. Shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Yeah.
Marcus is over here nodding head. It's like, yeah.
You would need a kind of poster showing Bernie face palming with both hands, and as an inspiration for your daily and important work for us here.
It's just a daily affirmation. All right,
Yeah.
Now I can go to work. Okay.
maybe on the ceiling of your bedroom. That at the moment you open your eyes, oh yeah, I gotta go.
I don't want to see Bernie right when I open my eyes. That would.
Or you stay in bed. I don't know.
All right, moving on to something a little less weird, but still Sanders. How about the Sanders Institute, everybody? This is pretty cool. So this has been set up by Jane Sanders and some other people involving the revolution, and you can see it includes people like Cornel West, right, who doesn't agree with keeping the Democratic Party and is very much out of that, and a lot of other free thinkers here. You got Bill McKibben. This is like the core group of folks, really. Some of these people I've not heard of. You got Nina Turner, Robert Reich, Danny Glover. Danny Glover seems to be our resident African-American celebrity who focuses on the revolution. Thank you, Danny. It's great. Oh, Harry Belafonte's. I mean, so they got like all these different stuff. And Tulsi Gabbard. Listen, what this is though is a resource. Just sign up, get their email, get on their list, get involved and volunteer. I think there's ways to volunteer. But really, it's a resource for us. It's a good, solid resource for the progressive movement with material that's not going to be tainted by MSM. So a very cool resource created by Jane Sanders and friends. The important aspect of this, guys, is that Bernie has nothing to do with it. So that's the reason they kept him out is because he is kind of a polarizing figure, and they don't want him in there being the magnet, the point of focus. The point of focus is on the revolution and on revitalizing democracy. Right? So Bernie's nothing to do with this. This is Jane and friends. Right?
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very cool. What? Hang on. I just want to read this because I don't understand. Eco Sucher says Robert Reich is going balsamic on alternate. No time to waste. Impeach Trump. Balsamic, as in the dressing, the vinegar. Ballistic, maybe, but I like balsamic. That sounds more, or less violent, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like something soft and easygoing.
Yes.
You know? I could imagine he was going nuts on alternate about the Trump the Comey hearings.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on there with that. I like balsamic too, Unga. All right, moving on. Oh wow, I don't want to move right to that's wow. Jeez, I just go from one kind of nice thing to this is terrible. Let me make sure I didn't skip anything here. No, I talked about digital left a little bit, right? Talked about that, how cool that is. So I'll let you know more about that. I only got connected yesterday, and I'm going to talk to them about the live streaming. But find them on Facebook, and then get connected with all their entities. I can tell you that one person who is involved, as you guys probably all know, is Aiden King, who was involved with Bernie Sanders' social media campaign and a lot of the blasting of stuff going on. So, find them, get connected. That should be our new word, balsamic. Man, that's so balsamic.
And John, I already know the title for tomorrow's show.
What is it?
Let's go balsamic with John and Markus.
So we're just gonna change up the title every day. Let's do that. Let's do that. It'll always be with,
Yeah, right.
it'll always be with a bunch of people's names, but we'll just change the top. No one will know what the hell we're doing. How to ruin a brand with John and Markus. Those damn environmental socialists always going balsamic on everything. I love it. It's wonderful. You're welcome, Steve. Oh, all right. This is not funny. To get serious here for a second. Not just a second. This is to me, this feels like one of those things that's been going on for a long time, but I'm like, really? Wow, holy shit. We've done nothing about it. Like, this has been caused directly by insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies, the healthcare industry, pushing opioids. While they push opioids, they work as fast as they can to keep cannabis illegal at the federal level. While they work on, they got their synthesized version of cannabis that they can control and fuck up. That's legal. And we've got, I think it was Ohio, somebody. They're suing 5 pharmaceutical companies for the fact that they can't even produce enough caskets and keep their funeral homes clear enough for all the dead people showing up from heroin. Opioid addiction from pharmaceutical addiction to heroin that led to a street addiction to heroin. That leading cause of death, that chart we showed the other day with the big ass heart and, basically health issues. Well, a lot of that is caused by death from overdose or addiction. That's like when I was growing up, when I was a kid, this was like third world country stuff or something that happened in a ghetto somewhere. It's a national epidemic. And you don't hear anybody talking about this at the federal level. Say Bernie Sanders. It's pretty sad. And study after study after study shows that cannabis can help and they should use that instead. And why aren't we using cannabis for all these things? And, but I hope the suits go through. I hope pharmaceutical companies are brought to their knees financially with all the lawsuits that are going to come out of this. Every single one. I just want to rape them financially. Leave them with their throats slit and the red line dripping out of their corporate skull. You got to visualize the death of a corporation, because there's nothing wrong with that. It's not human. It's not alive. So I can eviscerate a corporation, beat the living shit out of it, kick it until it's bleeding on the ground. That's what I want to do with corporations that have raped this planet and kept us in basic slavery for decades. End of the corporate age, it's coming. It's really boiling down to some really intense shit as harsh truths about America start being uncovered. It's fun times. Here's your shout out. You want to shout out again? Because I actually had this loaded for you to say a shout out, Markus.
Ah, cool. There she is.
So how do you pronounce your last name? Ocasio? Alexandria Ocasio?
OcasioCortez.
Cortez, okay.
That's her full name. And she was yesterday on, it was streamed yesterday by Jimmy Dore. She was on his show. And yes, I admit I'm just a man, and I have to watch it twice because she is not only beautiful, she is very, very smart, and I hope she does her best in District 14 in New York, where she is primarying against I think it's Joe Crowley, and she told some interesting things about him, that he is getting lots of money from Wall Street. She was talking about $3 million per year, and
nice.
All this money is normally dedicated for election purposes or for campaigning. But as Crowley never had opponent for years, this money all went to his friends and colleagues and established him in his position. And she wants to change this, and so she is opposing him, and she'll primaries him in the 14th district in New York. And she has power, and I only can recommend to watch her video on the Jimmy Dore show, because there you see she has so much power, and she says she is waiting for the mainstream media to smear her for reasons, and she said she doesn't fear it. She's from the Bronx and she knows how to fight, and I'm pretty sure he knows it, yes. And she gets my full support, and I hope that she will come to us and maybe talk to us on We the People. I will talk to Laura and ask her to contact her, and so maybe we'll have her here. And anyway, she is great. And guys, if some guys are here from District 14 in New York, give her your vote.
Great. That was a nice promo, Markus. Wow. Markus from Germany with promoting American politicians, because he wants to save the planet too.
Not the first time.
Not the first time, no. And just to back up real quick, we will try to get her on We the People. Yes, that's thank you, Laura Livengood, because without her, I would not be booking anybody on We the People. And that's people was something I was going to talk about help and on the ground. So I'm going to do that in a second. But I just want to back up. Jim Lockett, I caught your comment. I was talking specifically about the United States of America. So yes, if you want to go back to opioid addiction and Dutch East Indies Company, the UK, continuing to keep China addicted so that they could make money, absolutely, let's go back to there. I agree 100%. Opium has been used by privileged white people to keep other people addicted for a long time. I'm sure that goes back even farther in history. I'm just concerned with the pharmaceutical companies. And remember, I mentioned that's one of the reasons that my wife's company is working on the holy grail of tests to be able to determine the difference between street and pharma heroin. Again, something that the pharma companies could probably handle, like putting something in it, a genetic marker. But why would they do that? They don't want anybody to trace the addiction from the doctor's office to the street dealer. Nobody wants those connections. That would help lawsuits, right? So yeah, I agree with you. Anyway. And yeah, we'll get her on the show moving forward. I'm going to play this just so everybody understands that impeaching Trump is not going to happen, and probably don't want it to happen, really.
Let's talk impeachment. Everyone else is.
He is impeachable.
Impeach him. We have to start an impeachment investigation.
Impeachment.
Impeachment.
You say it's an impeachable offense.
I think we're in impeachment territory now for the first time.
Wait, we're talking about impeaching the guy who said this.
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters.
Considering all the stuff Trump's gotten away with already, he might actually be right. But losing public support is one thing. When it comes to facing impeachment, though, it takes more than you might think. For starters, it depends on who controls Congress. Impeachment is less about criminal or legal actions and more about political will, and we have history to prove it. Andrew Johnson was hit with impeachment proceedings in 1868 when he was accused of violating the Tenure of Office Act by removing the Secretary of War, who disagreed with his policies at the time. Really though, the Republican-dominated Congress felt Johnson's Reconstruction policy was going too easy on southern states, letting them do things like preserve systems of slavery without actually calling it that. Guess impeachment didn't really help there. Next up was Republican President Richard Nixon, who lied about his role in the Watergate scandal.
Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
The second part of that was true. He resigned before he could get impeached because not only did Democrats control the House and the Senate, he lost support within his own party. So he peaced out early because he knew he was going down. Then there was good old Bill Clinton, who capped off the 90s with this gem.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
He was a Democratic president impeached by a Republican majority Congress. But none of these presidents were ultimately removed from office by impeachment. After the House of Representatives votes, 2/3 of the Senate is needed to remove the president for real. And in Johnson's and Clinton's cases, there weren't enough Senate votes. Another reason why impeachment is so hard to pass is because it's open to interpretation, Congress's interpretation. Based on the Constitution, impeachable acts are treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. It's a phrase our founding fathers threw into the Constitution at the 11th hour. They were like, hey wait, we need a way to get rid of a president who abused his powers. But high crimes and misdemeanors could mean anything, from murder to obscenity. It's vague on purpose, and unfortunately for us, it's up to Congress to decide what the hell that means. Kind of like how they decided to take away healthcare from millions of people. No big deal. Impeaching the president is going to be less about what TV pundits say or which hashtags go viral. It's going to depend on whether our Republican-controlled Congress has enough political incentive, or backbone, to turn against their own party's president.
There you go. So, on purpose, white privilege made sure it was really difficult to remove white privilege or anybody that was doing their thing. They just said, you know, we'll bake it in here and let everybody else figure it out. It'll never happen. Because too many people in power on both sides of the money wheel, Democrat and Republican sides, right? Same people, really. They just have different flavors of how they want to rape the public. Right? They're all making money still. They don't care. They really don't care. And they like having us focused on Trump and his stupidity. They'd rather have us focused on that and everything else than on having us rebuild our party so we can kick them out of office. So,
look, for the Republicans, it's I think it's nearly a perfect situation.
Yeah, it is.
All is circling around Trump and his idiocy, and they can do whatever they want because Trump himself, he cannot bring anything through. So they can make their own agenda as they always intended, you know. Very dangerous. On the other side, I think we would need Trump for quite a while. So I think an impeachment would not make any sense yet. And we always talked about it. It makes no sense to replace him because then we would have Pence, you know. And
well, yeah.
Well, even more terrible in my opinion.
He would be weird. He would be where Trump is like everybody's like waiting to see what he's going to do. Is he going to pull out his dick? Is he going to pee on something? Is he going to flip somebody off? What's next, right? Pence would just be like everybody uncomfortable in the room. He'd be weird, silent. You wouldn't know what to say. I don't know. Be bizarre.
Yeah.
He'd be boring though, in the sense that he would be, working faster with Republicans to just destroy us all, and maybe Americans would be a bit more awake then and focused on that shit and less on Russiagate.
But he's so dangerous because of his 19th century thinking.
Well, no, I know, but most of Congress, including Republicans, are not interested in his 19th century ways, and most of them have constituents that are like, fuck you and your 19th century ways. Most of them have states. The states that are dealing with marijuana and making a shit ton of money are like, fuck you and your marijuana. I'm sorry, that's Sessions, but Pence. You got to understand, Pence is so off the charts with his weirdness. Not a lot of people are going to vote for his shit, right?
I see, but the moment Trump would get impeached with the help of Republicans, what would happen next? They would gather around the new leader. This would be Pence, and they wouldn't allow that anyone questions the follower of Trump.
Possibly, I don't know. I'm not worried about it.
Okay,
it's not
this is speculation. Yeah, it's speculation. Of course.
Yeah. Not going to worry about it. By the way, you guys talked about SpaceX, and they did just do that, and it's really cool. They relaunched their Dragon capsule, which is the first time it's been done, their cargo capsule. So basically, they proved their point. Elon Musk, after a lot of work and research and hard effort from his team and everything at SpaceX, and a lot of years of other people saying, why do you even want to do that? That's stupid, has pretty much advanced our space travel capabilities, our abilities to take shit and get it off of this planet and put it in space faster, cheaper, reusing parts. This is like space shuttle, but upgraded to where it really should have been upgraded to if we hadn't ditched our space shuttle program in favor of more weapons. Right. So thank you, SpaceX. It's the first time a commercial space flight company has done this shit. And yes, they did just launch a bunch of spy satellite stuff, and I'm not even going to get into that. I'm just going to say thank you for advancing space travel, and let's not focus on the negative about that, please. Just for this, for me today, please. Everybody's under investigation. Janine, this is why I don't care about Russiagate. They're all corrupt. Of course, Russia meddled with our fucking election. We all meddle with everybody's elections. Everybody that has the ability to meddle with an election is meddling with a fucking election. Why not? Why not work to help put your person in power? That's what governments do. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, if you want to fix it, then we need to take over the government and change the way we elect people, put it into a system that's secure, make it one person, one vote. We can do all those things. That's what Bernie's been saying for a long time. But in order to do that, you have to replace people and you have to start at the bottom. I've said that all before. And if you don't think it's a good idea, just know that Hillary Clinton and her world are already on it. She doesn't have to be at the forefront of democracy. She doesn't have to be the one getting the spotlight, but she's certainly there raising money for the candidate that they want to put in office. There's a Democrat running for office in, see, what town is this?
Clinton.
Yeah. So this is in Dallas. Former NFL player who turned civil rights attorney is running in a Dallas congressional district, and Clinton World and their friends are coming in to bring in some money candidate that they want to have do their bidding in Dallas. So it's like they don't. She's like, fine, I can do my work. I can do what I used to do and sell candidates and buy government. I can do that. She really wants to be in the spotlight because that's all she is a narcissistic bitch. But, she's happy doing this. She's got a little bubble to entertain, and they're happy with her, and she knows how to raise money, and she's still got plenty of people to raise money from. She started Clinton Foundation 2.0, and that's exactly what they're doing, a fucking private fundraiser. The Intercept obtained information. That's what this is. They obtained information stating she's doing this. They're raising money, PAC money, to help get their fucking Democrat establishment tool elected. So we have to combat that. We've got to battle that. Yes, Marcus.
Oh, I was just thinking about about Clinton world, and yes, it suggests that the multiverse theory cannot be wrong somehow. because it sounds like it's from another universe where she lives in.
Yeah, it really is.
Clinton, anyway, doesn't change anything. Clinton is done, and she wouldn't run for 2020 because I think two bitter defeats is enough even for her.
Just get out of here. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at you guys, some of your comments. Whoever left, somebody had it looked like a dental appointment, tooth appointment. I hope you're okay. What am I saying up here? Electric car sales double with China leading the way. June 8th. That's great. That's great. You guys are having a good conversation. I'm glad. You guys are what? You guys listening? You're listening to Trump's lawyer talk on the thing. Let me know if anything's said that's decent, that's good. Whatever. Not gonna happen. Clinton World sounds like a theme park. I know, but what a scary theme park. What is?
What could you do? What could you do in Clinton World? What could you do there?
Well, it wouldn't be the Bill Clinton.
She had absolutely no agenda. There would be nothing. There would be emptiness, pure emptiness to enjoy.
That would be Hillary's walk. It would just go off into nowhere. You just have like a Hillary's walk. But you would have to have the whole family, right? So instead of like Bill Clinton's ride, it would just say Ride Bill. That would be.
Yeah.
You could get on the rate plane. You could do a hey ladies ride. You know, just get it anyway. It would be bad. Oh, Bernice, I know you. Bernice, I saw you post about that. She had a tooth extracted. That sucks. I hope you enjoyed watching the show while that happens.
Yeah. Get well soon, Bernice.
Who could you do in Clinton World?
Very good, Darcy.
Very good. Bomb the shit out of foreign countries. Oh, we need to put together a Clinton World amusement park. David Horsey, who also doesn't ever watch this program, brilliant cartoonist and writer for LA Times. Clinton World. Make it happen, man. I gotta tell you guys something about that, like, fake parallel where I'm like, hey, they're gonna do it. It actually happens. Like I see. I don't know if you see it in the content that comes out, Marcus, but those of you who have the time like me that are just psychotic about constantly seeing news articles coming from all the different sources, you see that the ripple, like you see these ideas carry through in the different creative spaces, right? And articles like, I'll cover something by that Forbes did in an article 3 days ago talking about one thing. And then I'll see a Facebook post by Yale climate guys referencing the same material or talking about the Forbes article. And then 2 days later, I see the same thing coming out, from Newsweek. And it's this cycle, and it's important, right?
Yeah.
That repetitive cycle is important because all of those outlets reach different people at different times in different spaces in different ways, right?
Yeah. And here lies the danger with fake news. Exactly, there is the danger.
Well, it is. That is the danger, and that's we fight that all the time. What I find hilarious is I always do this, Marcus. I'm like, hey, we talked about that. Yale climate people must have been listening to us because they talked about it today. Not, hey, they saw the same fucking article I did. They just saw it a day later. It's like, no, they were listening to me. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Of course it was. All the other people that there's like 300 roughly we've been losing actually, but
it's a self-confirming bubble somehow.
It is. That's what it is, Mark. It's a self-confirming bubble. That's beautiful. Do we have any of our pseudo-intellectuals? Pseudo-intellectuals, if you hear that phrase, what do you think about that? And where does that fit in the world of psychology? Right?
Yeah.
Self-fulfilling bubble. That's what Clinton has a one-person self-fulfilling bubble.
Yeah. We got to be honest. Not only Hillary Clinton lives in her own bubble, we are too. And if it was possible, I would like to have. I would really like to have some other voices here. I see that our audience, we agree with our audience. Our audience agrees mostly with what we say and what we present. But I would like to have the option to really talk about the issues with the other side, because this would make us escape to a certain point, escape our own bubble, you know.
Well, I always say, and when you say the other side, who do you mean?
Yes, exactly. This is the expression which confirms the bubble. You know, the other side. I mean, the other side is the Republicans who are standing behind Trump, for example, or who are conservatives who do not share the idea of climate politics, etc. You know, and I would like to have a discussion in a normal way, a discussion, not shouting at each other. And I would love to have this. You know.
Well, I'd love to have a flying car and,
yeah, right.
a better arm, Marcus.
Yeah,
I don't.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But this is what I'm missing, you know, because in my opinion, this belongs to a discussion, you know. Otherwise, we are only, as I said, we are only confirming ourselves constantly.
So this goes back to why I asked way at the beginning, do you guys in Germany discuss politics? Because that bubble is the problem, that we don't discuss our views and our politics and the information that we have together as a society, which is what makes democracy function, right? It shouldn't be about a side. It should be about, okay, I'm going to go talk to Joe. Joe's a conservative or feels more conservatively than I do. I want to talk to him about this bill 859, blah, blah. You know, that's the way it should. We don't have that. We don't have that knowledge base or that desire to, I want to go find, we do the opposite. I'm comfortable with my ignorance. I want to go find other people that are familiar with the same ignorance and be comfortable with it with me. And then I want to reaffirm that ignorance together. I don't want to go learn anything new from anybody else. I don't want to be confronted with new information or have my bubble threatened. That's what we have. That's what we're unlearning right now. That's this whole discussion, and that's a lot of what the establishment and some older, and I don't reference my own party at all and my own county at all when I say this, but some more resistant folks are in the process, is that they're not comfortable or used to these open, passionate discussions about things, you know?
Yeah.
I think even hearing what's going on at the federal level with all of this shit coming out and people outing each other and talking about it, this is the most open and transparent discussion our government's ever had. The problem is we're not sure what's bullshit and what's true. It's all just kind of together, you know?
Yeah, I see.
And so Americans are left just going, my God, the government's never acted this way before. What are they doing? We don't know. So, anyway, on and on. Oh, Chris, by the way, Chris Bailey, you wanted to know whether at this point has been restored to normal for us for this time of the year and for Germany. Yes, Marcus?
I didn't catch it. Sorry.
Our weather is now back to normal for the moment for both of
us. Yes.
Yes.
We talked about this before the show. Yes, we have similar temperatures as we noticed.
Yeah, it's kind of cloudy. We've got rain, but it's warm. It's not. It's now 60s. It's nice. Gray skies, but you can see some patches of blue every once in a while.
Exactly. A little bit cloudy, some rain.
That's what we got here. This is what it's supposed to be now here, really. Even though we're in mid-June and what's supposed to happen is by the end of July, things are supposed to be hot here, and then in August, we're supposed to have a couple weeks of super hot that sucks, and then it'll start becoming fall for us and move back into gradual rain. More likely what's going to happen is we're going to get a blasting long period of super fucking hot because of climate change, and I'm waiting for that. And this little rain that we're having right here is a brief respite before that. I hope I'm wrong. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm not a scientist, and I wouldn't even think to argue with one unless they denied climate change. And there's apparently a couple being paid by somebody around somewhere. Anyway, 82 in Vermont today, which is higher than normal. Melissa H., I remember reading a story on this, and I'm starting to see prices change for a lot of things. Price of maple syrup been going up lately, because Vermont's maple syrup industry is fucked, isn't it? You connected with any of that or hear anything about that economically in your state? The temperature has gone up and the winter is not cold enough for maple syrup to be produced. And production has been dropped by at least 40%, my understanding. Like to know if it's worse. We are facing something I was going to try to get to, but there's just so much content, which is ridiculous. The amount of content I'm loading now is because I'm overloaded with what's going on, and I don't know how to. It's like all of this information is important. You have to know all of this, and there's 50 other articles that are also important that you have to know. I can't tell it all. I can't. But our food supplies are collapsing, and prices are going up, and American people are having to move all over the place because their environment's being destroyed. We're going to play a clip by Biden. Imagine a Joe Biden in office. What would that have looked like? My grandma voted for Joe. Maybe she was right all along. Joe would have been a nice, and Bernie could have worked with Joe, and boy, that would have been different. We wouldn't be awake like this. I wouldn't take it. We're all in. We're in the fire. We're dancing. It hurts.
It's the same speculation like the impeachment about Trump we had earlier.
I know, but it's a better delusion. It's like, Biden in office, saying normal, sane things.
No. I would say, only Bernie would be the thing.
Really?
Would have been the thing.
I know. Melissa's saying, John, well, we had a great year last year. Yeah, you had a good year in maple syrup world. That's good. This year was weird. Yeah. Sap went to the top of trees. Now sugar makers can't rely on their businesses year to year. Interesting. It's not supposed? Yeah, that's supposed to go down. That's so this year was bad for you guys. So now it's going to be erratic, and you don't know. See, that's fucked up. Even if it's not a drastic change, if it starts becoming erratic, that screws your entire industry. So with erratic weather comes erratic produce. I don't know. Could just be a totally illogical correlation, Marcus.
Yeah. And here's Bernie's Panders, and she's asking for the refugee interview. And coincidentally, I talked to Ashley before the show, and the problem would be solved until the 23rd with my new bandwidth, because I tried to drop it in his Dropbox, and yes, it says it takes 48 days, and this was the decision I told you to get a better bandwidth, and as soon as this works, I would drop it to Ashley, and then he can insert or transfer the subtitles, and then we can run it on our show.
There we go. Germany and America working together in a very small way, but very important to bring this this refugee interview, which is really cool. Been waiting for that. So just got to wait for Marcus to man up with his bandwidth, and then we'll be all right.
Yes, exactly. Maybe I'll buy a new microphone. No, I'm kidding.
Let's get two, because that's even better, right? I have two microphones. Right?
I have two screens right now.
Yeah, you have two screens. I
could have three, but I have only two right now.
Well, I am Lord of Screens. Just never forget that.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I'm sure there's people with if I had money, if I wanted to buy stupid things, I do someday want a big ass curved screen. I have zero purpose for it at all. You got a curved, right?
I got a curved, yeah.
Marcus has a friggin' curved screen. Make me jealous. Yeah. Goddamn German.
Yeah. And I love it.
Do you love it? Do you find it weird to look at, or is it totally fine?
It is absolutely great if you for game playing and for reading, and normally I wouldn't need my reading glasses, but because I have the big screen now, but the other side here I can't read it anymore. But it would be perfect to read here everything. I had always problems, and wow, and it's a little cinema I like, you know.
All right. I'm jealous. Another reason to go to Germany. Marcus already has one.
Yeah.
All right.
Come over.
So here's some good news. State Republicans rejected DeVos's proposed education cuts because they were fucking ridiculous, even for Republicans. We don't put any money into our education system anyway. It's such a tiny, stupid part of our budget. And she wants to eviscerate it and hand some of that money to private and charter schools. This is exactly what my dad talked about that happened in the 50s, 60s, right? There's Markus smoking. That was totally not what I wanted to show you guys. This German ratings. That's all I was doing. It's a ratings ploy. German smoking cooler.
And now drops again.
Anyway, this is a quote from a Republican. The kind of cuts that are proposed in this budget will not occur. That's pretty strong words. What I see happening here is that the reformation of a Republican Party separate from the crazy ass establishment GOP that just really wants to gut everything. There's a new faction breaking out. Republicans with some kind of sense. I don't know what we call them, right? And that's encouraging. It's encouraging. I don't know where that goes, but I hope it continues. William Valentine says, DeVos keeps mentioning the town next to me as a bad example. Bad example of what? A public school? Let me know. Yes, Melissa, she is definitely a piece of work. She's not even qualified to have that fucking job. Snork, you got 3 24-inch screens, side screens, 30 degrees, but you want to add a 42-inch screen above me for messages. Nice. That's nice. Oh, don't get into Linux, you guys. I never did. I was always cool, and I always wanted to get used to it, run it, and I just never got there. Coders, most coders like that stuff. Dennis S. We have 2 German. We have to do it. 2 Germans smoking and talking about topics. Yes, I know that would be the 2 Germans talking. 2 Germans smoking and talking. We talked about it. It would be a great show. It'd be a great show.
I doubt this.
Mark, we talked about it. You got to understand, guys. We're gonna totally talk about something stupid anyway. For a while back, we had Dennis in the show last time. Markus and Dennis were having this intense conversation. They were just talking German, and he's like, and I was like, I wonder if I could figure out, not knowing their language, when to cut scenes. So I was just trying. And I had them in. I was doing what I do, the production. Nope. Total disaster, total mess, because I don't know the language. You really have to know the language to really know how to cut the thing. I tried to like do it by micro expressions, like, oh, Markus is ending a phrase now. Oh no, he's not. Okay, doesn't work. But if I could figure out a way to understand what the hell they were saying, then we would do 2 Germans smoking and talking German politics, and it would be the big...
I would suggest you come over to Germany for a while and learn German, and then it would be no problem for you.
I agree. I'm happy to go there. Got a lot of equipment to move though, and I don't know what I do with my gardening and farm here. Speaking of stuff that
I told you before the show, John, you need a gardener.
No, I am a gardener. I need 2 of me. This is my first homemade strawberry jam from this land, by the way, everybody. Strawberry jam for the revolution. When I was talking about needing people, I need an intern. I gotta get back to that. I totally went off crazy on things. Totally running out of time today. Not gonna get through all this shit at all. I need an intern. Why am I being? Hang on a second. That's not right. There we go. That's too quiet. I need to be much louder. If there's anybody in the Corvallis area, Albany, Corvallis, who is crazy enough to want to come hang out with me here when you can and learn how to work with me to do this. Ashley, you can't. You got too much to do. I think my ultimate intern would be a trust fund college kid who really isn't interested in going to their classes and would rather hang out in the garage, get high, and learn how to do this. If one of those exists in any of the college communities and you can come here, let me know. Because in order to continue doing what we're doing, I'm going to have to find somebody that can start working with me, learning how to do this stuff. I've got a couple other people from the Democratic Party coming here today after the show to look at it, to understand what we're doing, and I need to reach out. So I need a second shift. Nine Tails, wow, uphill meeting. My grand grows her own strawberries and makes her own jam every year. Oh, that's awesome. A lot of people do it. I've always wanted to do it. Finally, we bought all this stuff and everything. We have so many strawberries on our land. They just everywhere. I mean, we can't even pick enough of them. We're gonna have so much fruit, and so we're like, we don't really want to go selling this at market, which is what the last owners would do. They sold all this stuff at the market and made a bunch of money, and I don't want to. I can't do that. I can't run this channel and do what we're doing with democracy and have a business selling fruits and stuff because my wife has a full-time job that has nothing to do with this. This was our fun, but I don't want it to go to waste either. So we bought a canning thing and all the stuff, and so I'm gonna be making jams for the revolution and all sorts of stuff. And another thing, if I had somebody that could come work with me here on that, we could raise money for candidates. We could package it and do donations where you get a jar of jam and I had talked about doing these things before. I was gonna do that with fig trees. The problem is I don't have time. I'm out of time today. I haven't been able to do things that I need to do with my own grow room for 3 days because people keep showing up and want to do democracy and shit. And that's fine. That's a priority. I'd rather do democracy and save the planet. So anyway, just a shout out. If there's anybody in the area, reach out to me, info@bernie2016.tv. And those of you who are already in here and talking to me, like Ash, and know this, you can't. The Corvallis carrot? What are you talking about, Ash? What is the Corvallis carrot? Excuse me.
I think this is supposed to be your new market you're opening.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I can do fig jam. Yeah, there's a recipe for a fig tart, fig jam. Totally gonna do that, Bev. And Jeanette, how can we help get interns? I don't know. That's a great question. And I'll say this: if it was somebody who had really good internets, like what Markus will have eventually, and computers, and you've got skills, and you've got time, I can work with somebody remotely. Okay, but I need all those things. Not to be a dick, but you've got to have good computer, good internet, skills with those things, and time. That's, everybody that's working in the volunteer group, including Markus, works full time. I mean, so the time that he spends here with us is all part of his free time, and that's why I'm so respectful of it, and that's why I designed everything to do it for myself, by myself, because I didn't expect anybody to be around, right? But if we want to grow, if we want to do more, if we're going to have more shows, I'm being asked to interview other people and stuff, and I can't maintain that.
So yeah, my part, good computer is no problem. And better bandwidth will soon be here.
Yeah, but time.
The time that I have, I invest in this great show with John, and then there is my job, and
yep.
Yeah.
And doing interviews.
I wish we would have a basic income here in Germany. Then I would know what I would do.
Oh my gosh. But then I don't know. Anyway, in a positive sense on that, everybody, things are changing, right? The connections that I'm making with these different groups, things that are things are changing, and we're still in that beginning stumbling part, right? It kind of I hate to use this reference because it is a Star Wars, not a Star Trek, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of Rogue One. Like, we're just at the beginning, starting things, getting our shit together, figuring out who's in the groups and who's not in the groups. But it really is happening. The chaos is ending. I'm seeing the chaos end. I'm seeing the progressives, the real true troops that want to move forward with this, settle down, get into work, put into action mode, and just start moving forward. And so it's go time. I'm excited about it, and we will be broadcasting the next Lynn County Democrats meeting. There will be a main speaker. I don't know who that's going to be yet, we're working on that. Ash is going to be helping me with that. It's it's coming, and we can do. We can do anything. We just need to process it and structure it. That's what I do, right? So if I have the people that can help me, and Nancy and I are working together on this, on the process and structure for a 21st century Democratic Party, but it could also just be for a 21st century progressive movement, 21st century media channel, whatever. We just need the people, right? And yeah, I mean that's it. So it's happening, folks. It's happening. Stand strong. Doesn't mean all the other horrible things that we think about can't happen, like Trump starting a nuclear war or climate catastrophe. It just means that there's some hope. There's hope.
Yeah.
I'm excited. All right, really quick. I'm going to fly through some of these because I'm bad. Judge gives the go-ahead in Flint water lead contamination lawsuit. They can now sue. The people can now sue the shit out of whoever they want to sue, and I hope they do. Sue the shit out of everybody and get every fucking dime they can from everybody they can sue. Right? That's so good thing. Nevada's legislature just passed a radical plan to let anybody sign up for Medicaid. I didn't know. This is courtesy of Crystal Hosmer, by the way. Crystal has always been great at supplying us with information going on in Nevada, and she's been an advocate for renewable energy, solar energy in particular, for a long time. Nevada legislature, I didn't know how progressive they were, but they passed this. They just recently fixed their net metering situation. They've got rooftop solar going on. And if this runs through, I don't know where it has to go next, I guess the assembly or whatever, they're going to allow their citizens to sign up for Medicaid. This is how it's done. In defiance of Trump. Right? Each state's going to start coming up with their own plans. Each state's going to start taking care of their citizens. Each state is going to start providing less money to the federal government and keeping more of that money for themselves. I still find it remarkable that the Republican dream that I understood growing up, which was more state control, less federal control, is actually happening, but certainly not in the way they wanted. It's fantastic. And by the way, hey Springfield, and I didn't mention a lot of you. I saw a whole bunch of people come in. Hey Timbuktu and Jonathan and Dr. Copperhead, and good to see you guys. I'm sorry I didn't say hello earlier. We can reach out to people. I'll be honest. I want to focus interviews on candidates or sitting politicians, because my focus overall is getting people elected to office. I don't want to do an interview like when we joke around talking about two Germans talking politics. That's never really going to happen because I don't have the time to do that for fun, right? Like we're so far away from doing any of this shit for fun. We have to derive fun from what we're doing to save the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will never change from that goal. And so, yeah, I would work with Mike Papantonio if it were for the cause of something, right? That have him on because he wants to talk about something in particular going on that's important, something like that. But I don't want to just do a celebrity. In other words, I got to focus on what I have the bandwidth for. And that's going to be people running for office. We get interns and we expand, and something happens with the Majestic and Cam and all these other things that have been in play for a while. You bet. Let's open it up. Let's do a big old media network. Let's do the shows. I'm loving it, right? But it's time. It's time to go to level 2. I don't know, level 3, level 4, whatever you want to call it. It's time to go up a level and really focus and get serious. And so. Things are going to change with this show. Laura Live and Good, I keep forgetting to tell you that we have to have a conversation with you, me, and Markus about the new concept and what it means and how it changes things and how we can make it work. Yeah, so we'll do that. Yeah. All right. I got to play this, though. Where are we at for time? 11:59. What are you going to say, Markus?
Run it.
The card that I had said taco bowls suck and tacos for peace. So these two stories go together brilliantly. We're going to run these two clips back to back, starting with the first one. This guy is a former politician. I realize he's not a candidate, but I would love to have Vicente Fox Quesada on this show to talk about the issues that matter. Vicente, let's smoke a joint together for peace between Mexico and America. I agree with you. Taco bowls do suck. They're a stupid American idea.
This would give our F-bomb stocks a raise, John.
It would. Between him and I, there would be more fuck bombs. Oh my God, it would be great. We would blow up YouTube with the F word. Here we go.
Will not pay for the fucking wall. Hola, Donald. It is me, Vicente, coming to you from Mexico, where the best taco balls are made. Actually, these are shit. They are not even Mexican. Why is the ball made out of tortilla? Just eat a fucking taco. As the former president of Mexico, I want to speak directly to you, the current president of the Electoral College of the United States, because we need to get something straight between our two countries. And it isn't going to be a fucking wall. Donald, under no circumstances will we pay for this stupid, useless, racist monument. I know when you came up with the idea, all the experts thought it would work. But the bad hombres have gotten more sophisticated since then. They are even sharing plans on the internet. Look at this schematic I downloaded from the dark web. It is a ladder, Einstein. You're going to build a $25 billion wall that can be defeated by a $25 ladder? Be honest. Donald, this wall isn't going to stop anyone who really wants to cross the border. It is just going to make your country weaker and poorer and less respected by the rest of the world. Now that you know the wall won't work, you can use the money for something else, like this water. For $25 billion, you could provide clean drinking water to the entire of the planet for 3 years. Isn't that a better legacy than a pointless wall of hate? Of course, I know you are not a big water guy because you're always drinking Diet Coke, which, by the way, is not working. So here are some other options for the $25 billion. You could end world hunger for 1 year. You could hire 50,000 teachers for a decade, or pay for the college education of 250,000 students. And look at this design specifications you put out. The wall must be at least 18 feet tall, 6 feet deep, and look pleasing from the American side. Donald, come on, man. What would be the point of us paying for something beautiful if we cannot even see it? That would be like marrying a model who won't even sleep in the same city as you. Cute kid, huh? You know who that is? It is you. Before you turn into you, Donald, instead of building a wall, build a bridge across the oceans of time and walk back across it to find this small boy and tell him that just because his father doesn't love him doesn't mean he cannot love the world. Well, I have to get going. I have a busy day of not being hated. by the vast majority of my country. Das Vidania, camarade.
That is the best Vicente Fox I've ever seen. I know you drink a lot of Diet Coke. It's not working.
I downloaded this from the darknet. This is a letter.
I messaged, or I sent a tweet to Vicente Fox on Twitter to say thank you for this. I apologize. We're working on it. We really fucked up, and the hashtag Taco Bowls suck, which I think we should just carry on through for Vicente. Taco Bowl, a stupid idea like electing Donald Trump. Although, for the sake of the planet, great idea. Great idea. Thank you, guys. Yeah, that was funny. That was by Super Deluxe, by the way. All the links are in the description, so click on it. Share. That's what you're here for. You know? All right. I know we're running really late. We're 5 over, but I'm going to run this fusion clip because this is a little more serious about tacos, and this is a way to bridge two cultures and bring about peace, which is kind of where we're headed.
Space to lower someone's guard is when you eat with them. They become vulnerable. You become to see the best in someone because you're eating and you're happy.
You came up with tacos at every mas, did you?
Yeah, I did. We invited Latinos to come and celebrate our culture and our hospitality as a reprieve from all this protesting. We're trying to embrace our identity in a time where people are trying to take it away from us.
My culture is a very dominant culture, and it's imposing and it's causing problems. If you don't do something about it, you're gonna have taco trucks every corner.
So I said, you know what, let's embrace that, because we want to embrace Latino culture. We'll have taco truck at every mosque.
I just hope people get together and start meshing and having conversation.
Never broken my fast to tacos in all of my 21 years of life, and I think that this was the most satisfying experience yet.
The one thing that I would like to say to the Latino community is that you are not alone, that there are other people who struggle with you and alongside you, and if you're ever curious, I would urge you to go and speak to your Muslim neighbors. We're all very happy to answer your questions and to show our support for you as you've done for us.
That's pretty badass, huh?
Yes. I like it.
Yeah, it was impressive. I used to love it when we had food courts and you could mix Mexican and Chinese cuisines in the mall, food courts in the mall. They've moved to trucks. Now it's food trucks on the street, and you can do the same, at least here anyway. I like that. What's just a quick note. The food truck, right, which is a nice new phrase, kind of like expat. But the food truck used to be called, back in the 80s, the Roach Coach. So I just want back then, nobody was interested in eating off the Roach Coach. That was just there for convenience. Today, it's like, oh my gosh, the wonderful cultural food at the food truck. It's very different. Working class always ate at the Roach Coach, right? That's what I grew up knowing. I was lucky to grow up where in Littleton, Colorado, where we did have a Latino community, and I worked with Latinos, and you know that one of my first jobs working at a deli with Lori actually, and that was what we did. So anyway, I'm glad I got that version, that narrative, and not another one from another part of my country. Anyway, we're late. I mean, just to see what other stories I had to go here. We're going to talk about Tom Fegan. I'm going to do this another time. There's a bunch of articles on Iowa and what's going on in Iowa, and he's always dropping. Click on the link, subscribe to Tom, be friends with him, look at what he's got going on. If you're in Iowa, around Iowa, know that Iowa puts about, Iowa is like 50% responsible for the dead pool in the Gulf of Mexico. It's runoff from its agricultural pesticides and nitrates from fertilizers. All of that runs off from their streams and rivers because they do shit to regulate it and into the ocean. And it's causing thyroid cancers and other melanomas and problems, cancers. They've already tied all this stuff directly together with all these fucking pesticides. They got big problems with their groundwater. It's just for somebody who is in the heat of the battle there, I worry about Tom. I'm like, geez, Tom, it's like going to Fukushima and waging war. Don't stay there long. I'm frightened for Iowans when I see all of this nasty stuff going on with their environment. So click on those links, share them, get involved if you're there. The judges sided with a tribe. That rarely happens. Pine Ridge Reservation on actually telling the EPA and this mining corporation who wants to mine more uranium on sacred land that they actually have to go give a shit or pretend to give a shit and talk to the indigenous on that land about where they can actually ruin the ground and not just go in there and bulldoze more sacred land. That never happens, but it did. So win for indigenous. Hawaii becomes the first state to pass a law committing to the Paris Climate Accord. That's not just agreeing on a non-binding thing. That's passing legislation that says, yep, we're going to adhere to this. That's the big step. That's what needs to happen. We're going to be held accountable if we don't meet these numbers. The non-binding stuff, even though I have faith in Jerry Brown to keep moving in the right direction, the non-binding is a get out of it clause. Hawaii's like, nope, we're all in for reals. Right? I like that. Finally, we're going to end with Joe Biden with some of his words on climate change. From his perspective, as they came, I think, is from military folks.
We got from the Joint Chiefs of Staff, George, was a report from our military. The greatest danger to American physical security was global warming. The greatest danger to our physical security. Because if sea levels rise 2 feet, tens of millions of people will be displaced. That causes wars. You saw a small sample of it in Darfur. You saw a sample of what happens when there is competition over what little arable land is left. And every single difference that exists among the people in the region becomes exacerbated. And so it is overwhelmingly in the interest of my grandchildren, notwithstanding what some of the folks in this administration think, to deal with global warming. Although the president has announced we are withdrawing from Paris, a number of governors and mayors are personally engaging the United Nations directly to say, not us. We're not leaving. The vast majority of the American people do not agree with the decision the president has made.
Yep. We know that that's what's happening. Thank you, Joe, for reiterating and going over there like other sane American politicians. Yeah. Regardless of what we think of Joe, everybody, at least he's sane on the issue of climate change.
He was absolutely right what he said.
Right. That's all I care about. Honestly. I'm a one-issue guy. Save the planet. I think all the other things we need to get done, cleaning up the government and stuff, that's going to happen along the way as we save the planet. It's happening. It's happening. But I wanted to back up to what was it, Melissa H. Yes, the Paris Climate Agreement is non-binding, and it's been non-binding, and that's fine. I'm not worried about that. I think, to me, it's more important that there's an all-in aspect to it from nations. That Trump has kind of united everybody on this, making them feel good about the Paris Climate Accord. That's what really needed to happen. It's an optics thing. It looks good now for nations to stay in. and sign on, even regardless of the biting. And now they're going to look like assholes if they don't meet their things. If they Trump out, right? Which is what it's going to be. Did you Trump out, or did you actually do what you fucking said? Right?
Okay.
That's yeah.
Trump's calculation is of course different. Because, as you said, the Paris climate agreement is nothing which has any certain rules written down or any laws, and so it wouldn't have any influence if Trump said, "Okay, we will stay in the agreement but do nothing anymore." No, he had to withdraw, and this was supposed to be. I read it in an article, and I completely agree with it. He sent the middle finger to the left, not only in America, in the world, to secure his 38 whatever % of his voter base. And this is the only thing he accomplished so far. So it was so important for him. It was nothing about climate change. I'm pretty sure that he knows that climate change is going on, but it was a political step and nothing else.
Exactly. It's just there's. Again, very much like Hillary Clinton, Trump does not walk the talk. A lot of talk, and then a lot of walking the very opposite direction that the talk was indicating. And then a lot of backstepping and over-explaining about it, or in Trump's case, tweeting about it. Right? So, yeah, absolutely agreed, Marcus. Just a crock of shit, just to win the votes. I think the American people after this are going to be done with the crock of shit to win my vote. You know, I think we're looking for a little more substance out of our politicians, out of our representatives. It was great. All right, you guys, ready to get out of here? Time to get out of here for the day, because I got democracy people showing up at 1. Marcus, you ran us out with a ganja song. What is this? Who is this?
Yeah, this is Sumti, and she is unfortunately still pretty unknown, and I don't understand this because I think she has a great voice. She is from Scotland. She has her origins in India, and she does a real unique sound, and she has some projects. One of those projects is Jatari, and as the name already tells it, it has to do with the Atari consoles we know from the 80s, from the late 70s. Maybe, John, you know them?
Oh, of course. I had a 2600. Absolutely.
Then you may remember the tunes of the video games. Absolutely. And Jatari sampled all those tunes and made sounds of it, which they are using in their music tracks. And,
in this one here, or is that a different project?
No. I don't know if there's one in this one, but okay. They have many other projects there. She was working, I can read it out, with Monkey Tribe, The Orb, Traumschmiede, King Creosote, Miss Kitten, Puppet Master, etc. And she collaborated with Asian Dub Foundation. I think this is the most familiar name. And
none of those. Don't know a damn one of any of those people. I'm like, who's he talking about? Who are those things?
I knew the Asian Dub Foundation before.
Asian Duck Foundation?
Asian Dub Foundation. They're doing dub sounds. Duck Foundation.
What do ducks have to do with it? What the fuck? How
no,
abstract?
They are not cooking dogs, John. No, they don't.
Ducks.
They are doing dub.
It's dub. The whole, like, dubstep? Is that the whole, like, dub? Is that what you're talking about? See, yeah, that's how I know I'm getting old and not keeping up with the times, is I'm not up with my dubstep groups. Or my whatever that is, but this is why I have you. You Europeans keep up with it over there. You got it going. All right. So anyway, this is.
Anyway, the song is Sumti is very unique. She's a very, very tiny person, but you will see that she has a very good voice, and she knows how to rap. She raps here, or as we call it, she's doing some raga, and. Yeah, I hope you guys like it. This the video we see. I hope we don't get blocked by this. I didn't find any information on it by the YouTube policies. I hope we are getting through, but I cannot guarantee. It is a live concert from somewhere in India, and
all right.
I hope you like. Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. What?
No, I was finished already. I just want to say I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah.
Awesome.
For
Thank
my
you.
part, see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Marcus. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. And yeah, if it gets blocked, we'll do the same thing I did the other day with that really cool piece by Zayn, which was blocked because of a piece of music in there. It wasn't Zayn in particular. They used a popular music track or something. And
it was such a great video.
It was a fantastic video. You guys can click on the link and watch it yourselves and share that video. I really encourage you to. That was just an incredible video. But this, we'll go out with this one, Ganja. Everybody light up. Smoke for the day.
The song is called Boom Shiva.
Boom Shiva. And what did you say? Isn't that what I'm supposed to say when somebody hands me a joint?
Yeah, if someone hands you a joint, you smoke it and say Boom Shiva.
Boom Shiva. All right. So everybody do that. I want to see your Boom Shivas in the chat. Boom Shiva.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go, everybody. See you tomorrow. Thank you all so much.
Go balsamic.
Go balsamic on your democracy today.